Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda
Connecting with the divine with your eyes closed is meditation. Connecting with the divine with your eyes open is darshan. Come, let us all now move from meditation to darshan. Slowly, very slowly, please open your eyes.
Ammayappane ni ennayappane, ammayappane ni ennayappane, ammayappane ni ennayappane, ammayappane ni ennayappane. மக்களுக்காக மறுபடியும் நீ அவதரித்தானே, மக்களுக்காக மறுபடியும் நீ அவதரித்தானே. அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே. காக்கா காக்கா கவிமிக அழக, நோக்கா நோக்கா நின்னருள் பெருக, காக்கா காக்கா கவிமிக அழக, நோக்கா நோக்கா நின்னருள் பெருக. ஏதும் பிற இரண்டால் கருணை நீ செய்யும் எந்தாயே, ஏதும் பிற இரண்டால் கருணை நீ செய்யும் எந்தாயே, அப்பனே செய்யும் எந்தாயே. அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே. மக்களுக்காக மறுபடியும் நீ அவதரித்தானே, மக்களுக்காக மறுபடியும் நீ அவதரித்தானே. என்னை அம்மையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே, 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 நீ என்னையப்பனே, அம்மையப்பனே நீ என்னையப்பனே.
ஆறுபடைக்கப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடைக்கப்பா, நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியகுரி மலையே ஆறுபடைக்கப்பா, ஆறுபடைக்கப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடைக்கப்பா, நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியகுரி மலையே ஆறுபடைக்கப்பா. அறுபடை சக்தியின் ஒருமுக நித்தியனின் திருவடியை நாம் காண்போம், நித்யா திருவடியை நாம் காண்போம். நித்தியன் திருவடி கண்டு நோயற்ற வாழ்வினை பெறுவோம், நித்தியன் திருவடி கண்டு நோயற்ற வாழ்வினை பெறுவோம். ஆறுபடைக்கப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடைக்கப்பா, நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியகுரி மலையே ஆறுபடைக்கப்பா, ஆறுபடைக்கப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடைக்கப்பா, நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியகுரி மலையே ஆறுபடைக்கப்பா. கேட்டால் தருவாய், வந்தால் அருள்வாய், நித்தியபுரி நித்யா, நித்யா நித்தியபுரி நித்யா. நித்தியன் பாதம் கண்டு சகல செல்வமும் பெறுவோம், நித்தியன் பாதம் கண்டு சகல செல்வமும் பெறுவோம். ஆறுபடை அப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை அப்பா நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை அப்பா. ஆறுபடை அப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை அப்பா நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை அப்பா. லோகநாயகி புத்திரநந்தனே நித்யேஸ்வர ரூபா நித்யா நித்யேஸ்வர ரூபா உனை தஞ்சம் அடையும் பக்தரை காத்தருள்வாய் ஐயா. உனை தஞ்சம் அடையும் பக்தரை காத்தருள்வாய் ஐயா. ஆறுபடை அப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை அப்பா நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை அப்பா. ஆறுபடை அப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை அப்பா நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை அப்பா. மார்கழி மாதத்தில் குதித்த நித்யனே நித்யபுரி நித்யா நித்யா நித்யபுரி நித்யா உன் பாதம் கண்டு நாங்கள் சரணடைந்தோமே. உன் பாதம் கண்டு நாங்கள் சரணடைந்தோமே. ஆறுபடை அப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை அப்பா நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை அப்பா. ஆறுபடை அப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை அப்பா நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை அப்பா. ஆறுபடை அப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை அப்பா நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை அப்பா. ஆறுபடை அப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை அப்பா நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை அப்பா. ஆறுபடை அப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை அப்பா நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை அப்பா. ஆறுபடை அப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை அப்பா நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை அப்பா. ஆறுபடை அப்பா.
ஓம் நித்யானந்தேஸ்வர பரமசிவ சமாரம்பாம் நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி பரமசக்தி மத்யமாம் அஸ்மதாச்சார்ய பர்யந்தாம் வந்தே குரு பரம்பராம். I welcome all of you with my love and respects. I welcome all the living and practicing Hindus from all over the world. All the ministers, diplomats, ambassadors, citizens, consulate generals, Mantreshwaras, Vidyeshwaras, Ganeshwaras, Lokeshwaras, Astreshwaras. I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. Paramashiva's message directly from Kailasa. Fourth force, strong nuclear power is the extension and inclusive of gravity, electromagnetic force, weak nuclear force, all its permutation combinations. Listen. The fourth force is not only extension, it includes all the other three. I wanted to remind all of you once more, Hinduism is cosmic science. It teaches you the whole life. மண்ணில் நல்லவண்ணம் வாழலாம், விண்ணில் நல்லவண்ணம் உறையலாம். மண்ணில் வாழும் அறிவியலும் விண்ணை ஆளும் அறிவியலும் சேர்ந்ததே சனாதன Hindu தர்மம். Listen. A blissful, happy life with all the auspiciousness in this plane and the most auspicious, beautiful, powerful life in the higher planes. Hinduism teaches you the science of this. It's a cosmic science. Feel pride and feel blessed. You are born Hindu and are practicing Hindu. You have been given this powerful knowledge. You are the inheritors of this great powerful knowledge. One of the worst crime done to humanity is teaching humanity that you have only one life. No. Listen to this carefully. Listen to this carefully. Telling you only we exist, human beings exist in this universe is stupidity. Telling you beings from the other planes, other universe, other parts of the universe are aliens is criminal, crime. Beings from other planes are neither aliens nor false. First of all, we are not alone on this universe. Second, beings from other zones and other universes are not aliens. They are our own version, little evolved. Our own version, evolved, are the Devas, Gana, Yaksha, Rakshasa, Rishi, Muni, Gandharva, all of them. Our transformed existence is Kailasavasis. I am not telling you any cock and bull stories. I am not giving you any theories, theologies. I am giving you a clear knowledge, truth as it is. I have come from Kailasa to introduce this cosmic science to the modern human beings, because modern human beings forgot this whole science. I am reviving this whole science. So listen. Last few satsangs I was talking about these four forces. Today I wanted to talk about fourth force and giving more understanding about the third force also. Everything you know about the nuclear power, quantum physics, parallel universe, everything which is established, this multiple existence, all of it put together is third force. Third force's imaginary fantasy extension. If you do a scientific fiction movie, sci-fi movie, based on all your understandings about the third force, it is fourth force. Listen. Till now, human beings have not decoded the fourth force in a concrete way, but the fourth force is all possibility of third force. Because it is all possibility of the third force, any science fiction movie you develop based on anything you know about the third force is a reality in the fourth force. Listen to that. I'm repeating. Any fantasy imagination you develop centered on the principles you know about the third force is part of the fourth force. Because the fourth force is everything you can imagine as an extension, transformation, multiplication of the third force and more. That's the fourth force. Let me give you some more understanding about the third force. Listen. Multiple universes, planes exist. That's the first thing. Pitruloka is true. When you leave the physical body, you carry your Karana Sarira, the causal body, your deep-rooted patterns, and reach the Pitruloka and live. I am not lying to you when I say, if your generations give you the Shraddha and Pinda only, you will be happy and have a social respect in the Pitruloka. I am not strategic or cunning or lying when I utter this word. I am uttering the truth. It's not that I wanted the Hinduism to spread and kept alive, so I am telling you this story. If Hinduism is not kept alive, planet Earth will not be there. Get lost. I have nothing to lose. I already renounced the planet Earth. I am in Kailasa. If you guys want the planet Earth, save it. I am here only to give you the truth as it is. Making it into the lifestyle is your responsibility. Listen. Especially the people who are already successful, having basic needs of your life fulfilled. Like you already have a spouse, kids, car, house, basic needs. All those people, those of you, it's your responsibility to create ecosystem for your next generations to understand, internalize the science of Hinduism, the cosmic science, the greater science, and keep it alive. I was so happy when I educated myself about this ISKCON's temple they are building in Mayapur. The temple of Vedic planetarium, where they are describing the Vaishnavite Srimad Bhagavatam description of the multi-universes, the multiple universes, the different lokas. It's a Vaishnavite version. It's a Bhagavatam version. But I am so happy that they have attempted to make people understand about the existence of the multiple universes, the vertical time zones. Surely, I'll be giving the Vedic Agamic version of the multiple universes and building a temple to showcase to all of you and show you experientially how each initiation and power manifestation you can experience those vertical time zones like Devaloka, Pitruloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka, the lokas of Yakshas, Kuberaloka, Indraloka, Chandraloka, Suryaloka, the different planets and planes. So understand this truth. When I say Pitruloka exists, it is true. You are not accidental. Evolution of some biological permutation combination, good or bad, right or wrong. No. You are a conscious manifestation to celebrate, live your existence on this plane and in higher planes, vertical time zones. I am giving you the truth and my vision to create an ecosystem where this truth can be lived and celebrated. This is my sincere effort to make the Kailasa, whether the first Kailasa I manifested in Tiruchengodu or the Kailasa I am manifesting in multiple places now, or the Mahakailasa I am manifesting. This is the vision. Vision is where human beings are given a very powerful supportive ecosystem where they are complete about everything related to this world: health, wealth, beautiful relationships, success, feeling empowered, enlightened, and know about the vertical time zone, multiple universes, and start experiencing it, preparing themselves to live in those spaces after they leave the body. Because life doesn't end when your body stops functioning. No. Life is so much more. Than you can even imagine, understand. Theosophy Society, Arabindo Ashram, Paramahamsa Yogananda, Osho, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, ISKCON, Ramakrishna Mission, Sampradaya, all of them have sincerely trying to make the same vision in their own version. I am trying to create most updated, because now I know all the insecurities of these human beings, why something is successful and why something fails. Above all, time is in my favor. Age is in my favor. I am too young. I am only in early 40s. Whole life is in front of me. Already I have 41 Chaturmasya spiritual strength, 27 years of a spiritual socio experiences, working in the spiritual field with the society, 27 years of solid experience and expertise, 41 years of Chaturmasya, solid spiritual foundation, and I have my whole life ahead of me. This is the advantage I have. Let me express these truths so this vision can start manifesting in all of you. This third force and fourth force manifests in all of you. This is my vision for all my Kailasas. Whether it started in a container, I don't know how many of you know, the first Adinam, Tiruchengoda Adinam, started in a steel shed. That is why I always feel container is auspicious. Put container in any place, it will become Kailasa. Because the first Kailasa is container Kailasa. Only then the hut was built. There was a small steel shed which was used as a pump set, gifted to me by a devotee. That's when first I started staying. From there only I built the hut. So that is why even now, anywhere people give me, donate property, I tell them first put a container, plant a container, start container Kailasa. From there it will evolve. From container Kailasa to uncontainable Kailasa. The vision is same. Where we provide an ecosystem for human beings to have a healthy, wealthy, blissful, complete life in this plane and enlightened, awakened life with the higher zones, vertical zones. Still, many of my vision is not yet unfolded into reality, but I have spelled out my vision very clearly. It will unfold when more and more collective integrity starts happening. For example, I wanted to evolve the Sambhavana system. The Grihasthas can make wealth for their personal life and expenses. Working for Hinduism, for Kailasa, like a win-win. You strengthen the Kailasa and you also get personal income. This was the vision I revealed maybe 2005 or 6 with a project called Anand Samaj. Is a kind of a communities evolving everywhere. If we have people with more collective integrity, who take the responsibility for integrity of everyone, these systems can be successful. These things can be successful. A 10 family can join, take up a project, make it successful, have Kailasa strengthened, Hinduism strengthened, and the ecosystem strengthened, and you receive the personal income. All the things are fulfilled like a win-win. It is possible. It is possible, especially in the cities of India and the NRIs in Malaysia, Europe, US, Trinidad, Tobago, where the Hindus are the richest ethnic minority. If you guys start evolving this kind of Kailasas, you will create an ecosystem where your generations will have strong feeling connection with Hinduism. They will live Hinduism. They will manifest Hinduism. They will be giving you the Shraddha for generations, building the modern day agraharams. Temple-centric communities, Kovil Perungudigal. தமிழ்ல சொல்லணும்னா, மலையும் மலை சார்ந்த இடமும் குறிஞ்சி, காடும் காடு சார்ந்த இடமும், அது மருதம், முல்லை, நெய்தல், பாலைன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஐம்பெரும் நிலங்கள்னு. காடும் காடு சார்ந்த இடமும், வயலும் வயல் சார்ந்த இடமும், கடலும் கடல் சார்ந்த இடமும், குறிஞ்சி, முல்லை, மருதம், நெய்தல், பாலை 5 நிலங்களை சொல்வார்கள். மலையும் மலை சார்ந்த இடமும் குறிஞ்சி. அது எனக்கு தெரியும். காரணம்னா, நான் அந்த மலை சார்ந்த இடத்திலே பிறந்து வளர்ந்ததால். அதுபோல நன்றாக புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். 6ஆம் நிலம் ஒன்று உண்டு. கோவிலும் கோவில் சார்ந்த இடமும் கைலாசம். Listen. Temple-centric communities, temple-centric lifestyle, it's all just in each city few families need to have that collective integrity. It cannot be done through autocracy or democracy. Autocracy, democracy, all crazy. All just crazy. Democracy means the mass is cheated, that they are empowered by few autocratic individuals. Autocracy means people know openly they are being ruled and at least hold the rulers responsible historically. So this autocracy, democracy, all crazy. Neither autocracy nor democracy is going to work for the future. It's collective integrity, responsibilism only is going to work for the future. That's why the Kailasa, I am evolving a kind of a new responsible democracy. How I am evolving, all the temple volunteers will vote any issue related to running the temple. All the donors will vote any issue related to money. All the administrators only will vote any issues related to administrative policies. A temple volunteer, if he is volunteering for administration also, he will have 2 votes. He will have a vote in the temple related and administration related because he is involved in administration. If he is an SJP donor, he will have the voting, one more vote to involve and vote about the economic affairs. So the votes are given based on the responsibility, responsibilism. Responsible democracy evolves collective integrity. That's the way I'm evolving now. I'm actually sitting and penning down the whole principles, how the Kailasa should be run, the guidelines. I'm making it into a responsible democracy. If you are a temple volunteer, you spend certain number of hours maintaining temple, you have the right to vote everything related to temple affairs. If you are a donor, SJP Yajaman, you get 1 vote related to all the economic affairs. If you are a SJP Karta, you get 5 votes, all related to economic affairs. If you are volunteering in administration, you get vote to vote in all affairs of administration. If you are volunteering in garden, housekeeping, you get the right to vote in all the affairs of the gardening, housekeeping. Responsible democracy. That's the way I am evolving this Kailasa. These digital ecosystems and the spiritual ecosystems I am evolving all over the world. From that time, my gurus have handed over me the first ashram from Tiruvannamalai. Then I did the first ashram in Tiruchengodu. We need to evolve Kailasa everywhere. I am seeing some of the successful Kailasas. Banu Patel has done a best Kailasa in Oklahoma. Because naturally she has a beautiful collective integrity team built for her business. See, the business network she built is all from the family, and they all have already built a collective integrity. That is why that the Kailasa Oklahoma is such big success. The best kept deities, most beautiful rituals. They all gather, sing, dance, happily, inspire, live Hinduism, do Garba dance, Bhagavat Katha, Guru Puja, Shiva Puja, spirituality, meditation, yoga, whatever they can. I tell you, they already formed a ecosystem where their generations will learn more and more about Hinduism and live, practice. Banu is very successful in evolving a very beautiful Kailasa ecosystem. Maybe little more enlightenment, education, knowledge, all that will happen in course of time. But the ecosystem is successful. I feel everywhere, every city, in US, Europe, even in India, if you guys start creating this Kailasa ecosystem, you will have your next generation following Hinduism, giving you Shraddha. You will have peace in Pitruloka. The Kailasa will evolve beautifully on the planet Earth. மலையும் மலை சார்ந்த இடமும் குறிஞ்சி, காடும் காடு சார்ந்த இடமும் முல்லை, வயலும் வயல் சார்ந்த இடமும் மருதம், கடலும் கடல் சார்ந்த இடமும் நெய்தல், மணலும் மணல் சார்ந்த இடமும் பாலை, கோவிலும் கோவில் சார்ந்த இடமும் கைலாசம். Every city on the planet Earth, we should create Kailasa. Every city we should create Kailasa. Kailasa lifestyle is a beautiful preparation for you to live comfortably in the higher planes, vertical time zones. When you go there, you won't feel cultural shock. You will not feel cultural shock when you go to the higher planes if you learn the Kailasa lifestyle here on the planet Earth. We just need some of the dedicated people. You see, you don't need cunningness, strategy to make Kailasa. You just need Tyagis, dedicated people who have a conscious stamina, will, persistence, making it happen. Will stay strong and make it happen, like Arishchandra, Satyavati, the Savitri, Satyavan Savitri. Whatever. Will, persistence. Nachiketa. Will, persistence. A child fasting for 2.5 days without food and water is equivalent to an adult fasting for 2.5 years. Because for child, food is the only life, source of life. For an adult, there are multiple sources of life. His body has evolved to use multiple things as source of life. But for a child, food is the only source of life. And a child, Nachiketa, fasting for 2.5 days is equivalent to an adult fasting for 2.5 years with a will, persistence. Satyavan Savitri, Nachiketa, Arishchandra, what a will, persistence. We need just few people with that kind of a conscious stamina, will, persistence, to create collective integrity, to make collective integrity. for Kailasa to happen. They become the foundation of Kailasa's evolution. Not any efficient, cunning, strategic, no. It is dedicated, tyagis. Earlier, the Kailasas are like luxury. But now, it is survival need. I'm seeing so many people messaging this Meda Slatya, so many people. Oh, I want Kailasa in Kashmir, I want Kailasa in Guwahati. All you guys, stop wasting my time if you can't take the responsibility. Meda Slatya, you don't need to be independent. You just need a conscious will, conscious stamina, will persistence. Go to Adi Kailasa, get trained, renounce your luxurious, hypocritical, criminally negligent lifestyle. Because your ancestors did not do the tyaga, Kashmiri Pandits are suffering and Hindus lost Kashmir. Don't continue to be criminally negligent. Decide to dedicate and stop your stupid ideas about life. Go to Adi Kailasa and have the basic training. Then carry that ecosystem to Jammu and Kashmir and start manifesting, reviving. Do what need to be done. Nobody is interested in your crybaby stories. Nobody is interested in your criminal negligent lifestyle. Or just disappear from my eyes. Go and live as you want. Don't waste my time and get the karma of Guru Aparada. Wasting Guru's time. When I give a vision, everyone says, oh, I want to do, I want to do. Come on. There is a clear system I have evolved. Procedure. There are ecosystems which is functioning. It's not that those ecosystems are perfect, but it is budding. Go there, see what all can be done. Right, wrong, good, bad. In that, learn the conscious stamina, will, persistence. Then take that to the different places we have. You don't even need to take the risk of buying new properties. We have multiple properties all over the world. You can go and start planting in any of our properties without any risk. Once you are successful in Adi Kailasa, in our properties, then go and do it in your city. There is a clear system and successful in multiple places. Instead of doing the responsibility, just lying to yourself and to me, oh, I want to do this in Jammu, I want to do this in Kashmir, I want to do this in Guwahati, I want to do this here. I want to do that there. No. If you want to do it. If not, be criminal, negligent Hindu, rot. As I told you, the Hindus should know their negligence has crossed the level of casual unattending or just blinded by the consumeristic lifestyle. All that level is over. Now it has gone to criminal negligent level. If you get out of your criminal negligence and create Kailasa ecosystems in every city, the next generation of Hindus are going to be there. And I don't want to say the otherwise. What will happen? I don't want to utter through my mouth. Because I have to make it happen. I don't have a choice. If you join along with me, I'll do it with you. If you don't, I'll do it without you. If you oppose, I'll do it in spite of you. But I'll do it. I'll make it happen. வந்தால் உங்களோடு வராவிட்டால் தனியாக எதிர்த்தால் உங்களையும் மீறி செய்தே தீருவோம் பரமசிவ கைலாசம். We need to address seriously these few issues in the Kailasa ecosystem. One, the most important, the ecosystem should be self-sustaining. Second, a separate male sannyas order, female sannyas order, grihastha order. All these three separate. Third, system where the grihasthas can make personal income. Some method of sambhavana where they make enough personal income for their personal expenses. Either a common project, a for-profit project is made successful. Running a restaurant or running a hotel, motel, or running even enriching and causing very professionally. There are multiple possibilities. Hinduism has some of the most beautiful, sure shot, result-based products. Yoga, life solutions. You can share all this. And wherever Paramashiva allows, you can make money. The money can be made. Where he does not allow money to be made, we can't. Following the economic policies of Paramashiva, we can make a beautiful ecosystem for grihasthas to make personal income. This is the third point to be addressed. Fourth, responsible democracy in evolving all the policies of those Kailasa's ecosystem. If this simple four fundamentals are maintained, not only Kailasa will flourish, you will have an amazing ecosystem for it to continue forever. So the sannyasis will have Maheshwara Puja by the generation of sannyasis, sannyasa parampara, and they will be happy in Kailasa and Pitruloka, wherever they reach as per their karmas. If they were living as sincere, integrated sannyasis, they will straight reach Kailasa. If they had messed up, then they will reach only Pitruloka. If they are completely messed up, then Brahmarakshas. That is up to them. All the grihasthas will have their generations. Beautifully living Hinduism and giving Shraddha to you for generations, so you will be happy in Pitruloka or Kailasa, wherever you reach. These are the foundation, fundamental, practical truths. This is enough for the Kailasa ecosystem to manifest. Living in the Kailasa ecosystem will make you manifest the third force, because continuously you will be getting the powerful clicks. You will have a very peaceful life. I'll repeat, these four things need to be addressed for any successful Kailasa. separate place for male sannyas order and female sannyas order, which will include their own temple, their own gurukuls for that gender. Male sannyas order will have the male sannyas gurukul and the temple run by them. Female sannyas order will have female gurukul and temple run by them, goshala for themselves and library for themselves. Two separate ecosystem, and the grihasthas separate. Grihasthas will have their own library and their own temple, their own goshala or any other projects. All three separate campus so that each one's ecosystem is not disturbed by the other's ecosystem. Only then all three will be successful. If not, all three will go through idiotic comparisons, land into criminally destructive mental setup. Grihasthas feeling jealousy about the sannyasis and sannyasis feeling, sannyasis comparing themselves to grihasthas is extreme stupid. Criminal negligence and crime itself. So all the three separate campus. That's the first thing to be taken care. Second, most important, grihasthas should have a win-win, successful way of earning personal income, so they don't need to expect anything from the outer world or from the administration. They have their own independence and what they call as security for their future and all that. So they are economically not dependent on anybody else. There are tons of systems, business opportunities can come up. Third, responsible democracy with collective integrity. Responsible democracy with collective integrity. Fourth, continuous, intense inspiration. Living Kailasa. That fourth job, I'll do it continuously. I think these are the four major things will make any Kailasa ecosystem successful and expanding. Based on these principles, you can create in each city on your own. It is not necessary all the Kailasavasis have to have houses just in one campus. No. It can be near around the temple. You can settle down around the temple. For example, there are so many people, devotees who have settled down around the LA temple, Los Angeles temple. They are not in one campus, or it's not that owned by the central organization or anything. It's all their houses. But they've settled down around the Kailasa, Los Angeles. You can settle down around the Kailasa San Jose, driving distance or walking distance, and start developing collective integrity. Start developing separate campuses for men and women. The responsible democracy with voting rights and collective integrity. This will make Kailasa ecosystem everywhere. So, let me repeat the 4 points I was giving as my vision. For a successful Kailasa ecosystem, with a clear description and definition, first point, all the 3 orders to have a separate campus, like male sannyas order, female sannyas order, grihastha order. All 3 self-sustaining. See, when I say male sannyas order, it includes all the individual single male, like Rudras, Bhairava, Yoga, Sannyasi, Brahmachari, Vanaprasthi, all the orders where an individual lives life with himself. That all that male orders, one campus, including the male Gurukul. Next, female orders. The female orders are like Brahmacharini, Sannyasini, Vanaprasthini, not Rishika. Rishikas are more like a Grihasthas. Rishikas are married. So here the Vanaprasthinis are the... In some tradition, even Vanaprasthis live together, husband and wife. But if the spouse is dead or divorced and you take Vanaprastha, you live alone. All the single female, including the female Gurukul, that as on campus, in that Rudraganya, Yogini, Bhairavi, all the female single sampradayas, and the Grihasthas, all 3 separate campus, self-sustaining, with their own temples, their own Gurukuls, their own Goshala, their own agriculture unit, self-sustaining. That's the first step. Second step, where Grihasthas are able to generate personal income through all the allowed business by Paramashiva. Paramashiva has given a clear list of allowed business where you can make money, sattvic money. All the allowed businesses can be explored. And private income, personal income is generated. Where it's like a win-win. You strengthen the Kailasa and Kailasa also strengthens you. Win-win. The third point is responsible democracy of collective integrity. where people who are responsible for that departments, that ministry, only as a right to vote the issues related to that ministry. So all the mess ups of the democracy is eliminated. Criminal negligence can be minimized or drastically reduced, literally removed. And the fourth point is intense spiritual inspiration, experiential Kailasa lifestyle. This four will make successful Kailasa ecosystems all over the world. We should think and work to make the Kailasa ecosystems all over the world. So all of you contemplate on this. I'll reveal more depth and details about third force and fourth force in a very practical, implementable ways. So with this, I bless you all. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Paramadvaitam, Shuddhadvaita Saivam. The state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness, and Kailasa of Paramashiva, Paramashivoham, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, the eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.
Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nirmalamachalam sarvadi sakshibhutam bhavaditam trigunarahitam Sadgurum tam namami. Let's go through the important cautions from Bhagavan himself explaining what is power manifestation.
When it happens in you, out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. Dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. Turyatita in your. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Power manifestation is cognitive shift. Playing with life. Playing with being alive. No boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything. Listen. Power manifestation is cognitive shift. Raising your frequency, not work.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained what is power manifestation is raising your frequency, you experiencing that everything listens to you, everything happens as you want, experiencing the superconscious breakthrough, becoming a special species, that Paramashiva is real, consciousness is real, as your own reality. It's a science, millions have experienced it, and each one of us can experience that. Science of our manifestation is authentic, time tested, scientific, and foolproof. For the power of depth dimension, the pramanas are listed here to give us a cognitive shift. The Shastra Pramana, the eternal unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures as Vedas and Agamas. Apta Pramana, experience and result of the Aptas. Aptas are the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nainamas, Alvars, Siddhas. All of them, millions of them, are authority of Hinduism who manifested all the powers of Paramashiva. Atma Pramana, account of His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar's personal experience. Bhagavan plays the Leela to showcase how the cognitive shift can manifest as powers. Shakshi Pramana, the experience of the millions of devotee, disciple, followers all around the world, manifesting the powers of Paramashiva, initiated by Bhagavan himself. Bhagavan has beautifully said, I myself will be there in the Kailash courtyard, more present than each one of us, manifesting through each one of us, whoever connected to him in the oneness space of Paramashiva. Paramashiva is real, becomes our reality. Pratyaksha Pramana, the scientific study measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. Bhagavan Paramashiva has beautifully given us the greater science to understand how the science can now understand that Paramashiva is real, showing all the greater truth, how this prefrontal cortex works, how the thoughtlessness happens, and how the dopamine gets created in our brain as we manifest these great powers, and brings in so much of abundance, auspiciousness, bliss, and healing. For the power of depth dimension pushing the object further from us. The Shastra Pramana is from the Shiva Sutra. Shiva Sutra, Sutra 1.16.
द्वा अपशुशक्तिः शुद्धतत्त्वसन्धानाद्वा अपशुशक्तिः
Shiva Sutra, Sutra 1.16. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, by fixing the self and aiming at the pure essence, cognizing from the depth of one's being that all that exists is Paramashiva, the pure essence, Suddha Tattva, and attaining and uniting with the pure essence, existential reality, Paramashiva, he experienced Paramashiva and manifests Paramashiva as the infinite power. Bhagavan Paramashiva beautifully says, fixing the self and aiming at the pure essence, cognizing from the depth of one's being. Bhagavan beautifully said how the macrocosm, that how reflects into the microcosm as fear and greed, and how the macrocosm, gravitational force, electromagnetic force, when it overflows into each other, and the powerful cognition which includes both and much more, the depth dimension which includes the length and breadth, and when the depth gets to the full and breaks open into the time, it will start experiencing the space component. The time component is there as long as we have a seer, and seeing. The time component simply merges into one, space where we become the seer, seen, everything merges into the oneness space. When we are in the deep sleep, we experience that every day. That is why we feel like a minute when we sleep and get up. We don't know the time. Time merges when there is no seen, there is no seer. Then time also does not exist. Time exists as long as the objective reality, the outer world, the materialistic world exists, as long as there is a scene. Beautifully, Arjuna asked Krishna, who is the greatest bhakta of all? And Krishna, he expected Krishna to say, oh Arjuna, you are the one. But Krishna said, come, I'll take you to a palace. He took him to a palace where a king and his wife and the child was there. And they served both of them very beautiful. And at the end, Krishna told the father, can you get a sword and can you cut your son into half and give me the right half, and your wife can hold the son while cutting and the son should not cry. Arjuna was startled. What did he say? Like, how did he could mention all this? Krishna is such a compassionate, loving being, and why is he saying all this? And simply the father has no second thought. He goes and takes the sword, and the mother holds the baby, small child, in her lap, and the baby is also perfectly fine, not getting scared of anything, ready for everything that Krishna wants to manifest. And when the father came with the sword, there was a little tear coming from the left eye of the child. Krishna said, immediately stop. I told very clearly, the father cuts the kid into half and gives me the right side of the child, while the mother holds the child, and the child should not cry. Why is the child crying? And the child got up and said, oh Krishna, I want to know what are the sins that I created that you are not accepting my left half. So my left half is feeling so awful that it starts weeping. What did I do? And beautifully, the way the child said, melted Arjuna and made him understand what a space. He was not afraid that the father is going to kill him or hurt him. He is not afraid that he's not going to be there no more. But he's again, why Krishna has not accepted and what sin he has created that he can complete his space and then offer him fully to Krishna. The space that he said, everything I did was only at the lotus feet of Krishna, surrendering everything, I lived my life. Saying all this, Arjuna simply melted and understood what is the deepest devotion, ready for anything, give up anything, to understand whatever we are seeing in this outer world is only a delusion, and ready to give up that delusion which doesn't even exist, creates the higher reality, higher consciousness, who you are as Paramashiva. Again and again, all this insecurity makes us stronger, makes us look at the fear and not get into more and more incompletion, but face it with such beautiful space that Paramashiva is only manifesting everything in my life. Such a beautiful space of oneness we experience when we go beyond the fear and the greed. Here, beautifully, Krishna goes to Indraloka to get the Parijata tree for Satyabhama. Indra's wife did not agree, so he had to fight and get the Parijata tree, which was come out of the churning, and simply Indra gave it to him, Krishna, and surrendered to him at his lotus feet. Not only this loka, you can move things across the loka, is what the Atma Pramana says. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 64. Bhagavan beautifully speaks in the Atma Pramana how he manifested the Padukas for his Guru and how he saved few coins that his grandfather gave and how he had such richness in his context of getting that and manifesting the reality.
For me, and I myself sat with that carpenter and helped him, assisted him, and that cleaned his patre and did all the physical labor and supported and did little work along with him and took that paduka and offered at his feet, and He blessed it. Still we have that padaka. It is there with us. This 9 rupee I'll go and ask my grandfather. He will not ask the second word. In those days, kids are not given so much money. Even though family is rich, kids will not be given money. Only nowadays you have all this stupid packet money, jacket money and all that. In those days, first of all, packet was not there. Where is packet money? And villages, they don't give so much money and all. But he will not ask me second word. He will look at the cashier. There will be one cashier who is also his partner. He literally brought him up and he will look at him. And that fellow will count that 9 rupee for 2 hours. 2 hours I have to be standing there. This fellow will rub. See, if it is a note, you rub and find out whether it is 1 or 2, I understand. Coin, 1 rupee coin, he will rub. Almost the coin will lose that 1 rupee sign itself on the coin. And he will rub this side, that side, turn, only one. Then next 1 rupee. And I'll be standing because I do not know whether my grandfather said yes or no. I requested him and he's silently writing and only showed the eyes sign to this cashier fellow and he's arranging. And my grandfather had a habit that all these local temples, festivals, functions, anybody comes, he has that standard thing. For this organization, 10 rupee, for this group, 20 rupee, for this group, 7 rupee, like this. So this cashier only will keep that heaps and keep. I do not know whether that fellow is keeping the heap for those groups or he is keeping the heap for me, I don't know. Only when it reaches the number, I said, I'll know, it is for me only. The heap is getting collected for me only. Till then I have to be standing with that anxiety, that fool. And he will count. Only when it reaches the 9 rupee, 9th rupee is put on it and he will call my grandfather as Appa, vechten. Only then means he will tell my grandfather that I have kept it on the table. Only then I will have a big relief. It's for me only. And never denied. I will not ask for my father because my father is such a standard, absolute free cashier. If I ask for 9 rupee, it will always be 50 rupee. And he will be very clean on accounts. And he never said no, but he will never give anything extra. And very clear. The word, that principle I learned from him only. We have enough to spend, not a penny to waste. We have enough to live, not penny to waste. I learned from my grandfather. It's from him. So once the heap is 9 rupee, by the time I would have counted that 100 times. By the time this accountant fellow counts and puts that 9 rupee, I would have counted 100 times. It's for me only. Then he will through the eyes he will sign, edukada, means take it. He will always use the word Sami word, with very respectful, but single, edukada Sami. Then I'll take it and go, he's the funder. My mother, the absolute innocence. Actually, when she shows compassion, when she listens, she will be so absolute innocent, I will not doubt she is not believing me. She is that absolute innocence. An absolute understanding. Next day morning, next day morning when she is trying to wake me up and send me along with my guru, I will not have doubt that yesterday itself she planned this. No. And I will not have a doubt next time when I come and crib, she is not going to listen to me and send me back to him. That is the beauty. Next time when I come and crib, I will have the absolute trust she is not going to send me back again to him. Now, somehow she was able to give me that courage, that absolute innocence, and never supported my powerlessness by her absolute understanding.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explains how he was raised as into the highest reality in the outer world, and the more cognition his parents had, how in the inner world was the most important for the parents to groom them into the higher consciousness. Now let's experience the oneness with Paramashiva and manifest the power of the depth dimension. If you have you can go to the Shakshi Pramana. I'll show you how the object moved for this devotee. You can see the pen which is placed and it moves to the center of the tab and it is very flat. She made sure she showed how it is kept so that there is no slope, and simply the pen moved completely into the center. Now you can place it on a silicon. If you're placing on a tab like it is showed, the tab should be completely switched off. It can be a pencil, it can be a deity, it can be pen, anything, even Atma Murti, Atma Linga, sorry. And if you're keeping Atma Linga, make sure it does not roll off, it rotates or it moves in a different directions rather than just rolling it off. If it rolls off, we know it's not power manifestation. Let's make it as authentic as possible so that there's no self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred in any of the manifestation. So if you have the Jnananjan in your Kantamala, you can apply in your third eye and your temples. And make sure you mark the edges so that you know if it is moving, you can see the whole thing move from the edges of the marked place. So now let's sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line and bring Paramashiva to your third eye. Again and again sit as Para Shakti, Paramashiva, Kalabhairava, Venkateshwara, your Ishtadevata. Get into the bhava. Unclutch from everything, the outer world. How you go into the deep sleep. You go into the deep sleep, unclutching from everything. By nature, we know how to go back to the nature. If you have a headache, you want to get rid of it. You just know that you have a head. Same way, if we have the mind which we are carrying, which is so much of mass, the thoughts, the higher the thoughts, more the mass that you're carrying. And you want to go to sleep and get tired of yourself and just want to relax from that. That is why every being loves deep sleep. And that is the one thing which makes everybody happy if they have a couple of more hours to sleep. We don't like any other job when we are told that you have to do a couple of more hours except the sleep, because we become the Brahman. We are consciousness. We are the frequency, the energy that we can experience as reality. Simply, if we unclutch from this world, the materialistic world, we carry in this body. The finger does not know that it is yours. Only you know that finger is yours. The cup does not know it is yours. You only know that cup is yours. You label as cup, the finger, everything. You think you are apart from it and you are the body. The body is just like a utility, any other utility that you use, a car, a van. Same thing, this body is something what you came here to celebrate Paramashiva, experience the highest. You are also the body. Bhagavan clearly says, you are the frequency, you are the consciousness, the quantum, which is manifesting this body to experience the ultimate bliss. But you are not just the body. If you are able to do all the complicated system inside your microcosm, that clearly shows that you have such extraordinary power, much more than the nuclear force inside you, which functions so accurately and so much as your possibility. Now with the same thing, hold that Paramashiva is real and surrender all your thinking, thoughts, decision, plans, whatever you have as your mind. If you merge that into Paramashiva's lotus feet, you get absorbed into Paramashiva and manifest the higher definitions that you enter the same sleep in awareness. You experience the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, such beautiful space of emptiness inside you, such oneness space as bliss, and so much of healing and completion happens inside you. For a few minutes, collectively, all of us, let's intensely chant the Mahavakya and entangle with Bhagavan in the oneness space. Chant with a deep listening. Do not keep seeing the pen or whatever you have kept. Let it move by itself and show you what it is. You get into the beautiful space of oneness, raising your frequency. Power manifestation is all about raising you into the next frequency that the seen, seer, and seeing everything merges into the space of Paramashiva. Paramashiva is real. Hold that powerful space, sit powerful, and start chanting the Mahavakya intensely with a deep listening.
Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
So beautiful. Whatever you have experienced, now take a picture of how the object has moved on the silicon or on the floor. You can take a picture of that so that you can share it with the world. Even if you feel the vibration or you feel slight changes, please make a note of it, and at the end you can share it. We'll have one more cycle. All these great things, again and again, Bhagavan is showing us that we are not needed for our life. That is, our ego is not needed for our life. Surrendering that, we can experience so much of abundance and auspiciousness happening in our life, even little, a glimpse of few seconds. If we can experience the oneness with Paramashiva, we are in the greater space of oneness. The more and more we are empty, if we can make ourselves empty, that Paramashiva can fill us and more get absorbed into the Paramashiva space, we become that space of Paramashiva consciousness. The more we are stuck in the outer world, that this problem is there, that problem is there, we need this blessing, that blessing, this has to heal, that has to heal, this has to be fixed. All that only leads into more chaos, more confusion. If we really want solution, just surrender to Bhagavan's lotus feet, merge into the oneness space, understand that more empty we are, we attract the higher space of Paramashiva. If the iron fillings are kept outside, it just gets rusted. And if you remove something which is blocking it to go towards the magnet and simply let it, it goes to gets stuck on the magnet, the iron becomes the magnet. The mind, when it goes to the outer world, it gets only rusted. How much ever you try, you can never fulfill because it is a shadow, it is a dream. You can never get fulfilled from the outside world. Even though it looks present, suddenly you have a root shock, then it confusion, chaos. This is the again and again peak and valley cycle that we fall into, the birth and death cycle. If the mind merges into the Paramashiva space at Bhagavan's lotus feet, we simply experience Paramashiva as our reality, consciousness as our reality, manifesting in all dimension, all possibilities. Paramashiva is real. More and more, let's experience Paramashiva real in collective cognition, collective integrity, and collective consciousness. Now, let's chant the Mahavakya deeply from our navel center. Put away your gadgets for a few minutes and again place the object. Take a picture of it before. And if you want, you can mark the end of the object so that if it moves even little, you can trace it. And simply chant the Mahavakya with a deep listening and unclutch from everything else and surrender to Bhagavan's lotus feet. Get absorbed into Bhagavan, manifesting the powers of depth dimension.
Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om 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 Nithyananda.
Sorry. Whatever you're experiencing, please go ahead and share that in tinyurl.com/powermanifestation. All that Bhagavan is showing us again and again in such a beautiful space of oneness for us to share to the world. Sharing and enriching is pulling ourselves out of delusion, and causing is liberating us into the space Paramashiva is real. Thanking Bhagavan, surrendering all this powerful cognition, power manifestation at his lotus feet, and thanking Bhagavan for all this greater science, thanking each and everybody in all the social media to manifest all these greater powers, collective consciousness as our reality. With a deep gratitude and earning Paramashiva as my word, as my thought, as my action, and seeing Paramashiva in everyone as my cognition, holding that powerful space, ending this session with a Purna mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Paduka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you so much. See you at 6 p.m. IST time in Zoom. You can log in through eKailasha into the new Kailash Courtyard Manifesting Power session. Thank you, Nithyanandam.